Hi, this is Victor, and in the next tutorial we'll explain in the first part of the Be'lakor tutorial how I paint the Be'lakor to this stage. So how I did the base, the glowing effect, and all the skin, and also the armor. So just some colors, the colors that I used to do all this paint work. And for the glowing effects I used dawn yellow, flash gith, so dawn yellow, flash gith yellow, fire dragon bright, Toll Slayer orange, wild red red, and Mephiston red. These are the colors for all the reddish orangey parts. So for the blue, of course I use as a base Abaddon black, Cantor blue, Magma blue, Lothern blue, and then for the armor I use Ironbreaker, Noon oil, and for the skulls I use Usbati brown, and not this one. I use Seraphine sepia here. So I use Usbati brown and Seraphine sepia. These are the colors I use to this stage. And now let's start with the painting tutorial. Hello, this is Victor. I'm here with a new painting tutorial. This time I want to show you main steps on painting Be'lakor. So my objective here on painting Be'lakor, and here I start to do it, is I will do highlights. I will try to keep it dark and shadowy, so I will do black with highlight on blue, and then I will paint the symbol in red, like burning red, and then the sword like lava, and then of course the skulls and all the metallic parts of metal. So what I'm doing now, I'm applying first some dry brush and highlights with blue, and on the wings, as they have a lot of texture, the best first step I find is to do first a dry brush. So I do very soft dry brush and I go over the zones. I'm using at this moment Cantor blue. I'm using this just to highlight. So as you can see, I just apply very soft highlights, and I will put more blue at the bottom of the wings, so I will try to make a gradient. This is just the first step on the highlighting. I'm planning to do different layers of highlight on blue. What is important is now I'm trying to catch up or catch all the texture on the miniature, and this is going to be the base for the next painting parts or the next painting phases, no? So here the idea is a little bit just to capture and catch all the different texture that they have on the wings, on the body. I start here painting just muscle by muscle, but at the end I decide that first I will do some dry brush. This is working perfectly, just to show and to start showing the different musculature and the different muscles of Be'lakor. I think this blue is working very well on top of black. It's giving very nice. So the first one is just a dry brush, and later on I will do some more precise painting. So just to show all the different textures and musculature of Be'lakor. Okay, so I will do here the wing, for example. This completely black at this moment. Start doing, don't press too much the brush, I just let the brush flow on top of the wings. Here I need to do, although the texture is more so you don't need precision, is just this face. What I want to show is I want to see all the different musculature of the different textures. This is not standing. I will need to find a better way to fix it on the base. So Here on the tail as well. By the brush. Painting black, maybe it's one of the colors that give more issues when you want to have a nice highlight. I normally do two ways. If you want something that looks cold, I use blues or even some purplish colors. If you're looking something more warm, then you look for grays or even sometimes browns. Then, and also you can use sometimes even greens to do the highlights. So here the idea is just, this is the very first step, just to see all the different textures of the miniature. The brush is helping a lot to see the details. So it's very good technique if you want just to pop up the different. But it's important, this is very soft and you don't apply a thick layer. Try to be as soft as possible. Don't try to make all the highlight at once. Never try to do it in just one step, because it never works. In painting, never works to do things in one step. Normally, to have a good result, it requires multiple steps, multiple layers. See, this is how it's looking like now. Now it's much easier to see all the different musculatures. To find for next time I need to find a better way to fix it to this base. So that's all, and I will be back once I finish. I will keep dry brushing on the miniature. This is how it's looking like after the first dry brush, and now I will do a second dry brush, and this time I will use Magma blue. So again, very soft dry brush. I will use, I'm not looking for precision neither, but try not to put too much paint, so be sure that you dry the brush correctly and start applying. I will start with here. Okay. Don't apply too much pressure when doing the airbrush. Just let the brush flow, touching the miniature. Okay. Here on the wings, I will try to make the bottom more clear. So as you can see, I just dry brush, and I think there's no more mystery. We will get dry brushing. I will be back once I dry brush with that color. So this is how it's looking like after the second highlight, and now we're going to do a third one. This time I will use Lothern Blue. This is very light one, so you have to be very careful not to put too much. So I will use this that is very soft again. Take some paint, dry. This have to be tested before on another part, so you will, and then you go very soft on the miniature. Okay, when you see that it's highlighting, stop applying. Here in the face you can put a little bit more, so just sure that you dry well. Then I will apply here on the face first. The face maybe is the only part that you want to exaggerate a little bit. Here on the wings, I want to be sure that these parts are more visible. Okay, and here at the bottom, so what you want to do. Apply more here at the bottom of the wing because I want to make it a little bit more bright. Then at the top I just go very fast on top. So as you see, it's a very soft touch. It's giving a lot of depth now to the miniature. And what I would like to do at the end is I want the contrast of the lava, and I will do the salt and the cow symbol on orange colors. I want this to contrast with the black bluish that is, so I want contrast of hot colors with some light colors. So this is how I do the dye brush here. Just, this is going to be the last. So that's all on the dry brush at this moment. So this thing is looking quite good. Now, what I will do next will do the opposite. I will take Nun oil and I will do a very soft, we'll start layering very soft or glazing as you want, very soft with Nun oil to go back to the dark blue. So what you want now is that to make the miniature darker overall. So I will apply this glaze now all over after doing all these washes. Okay, so I will apply now this, and I will be back once this is finished. Remember that when you apply a wash, you have to wait and that the wash is completely dry before doing any other layer. So I will just apply this wash right now. So here I'm keep working on the Bellacore, and now I will dedicate some time to the base. So this base was painted with very dark gray, and then I did a wash with Nun oil, and now I will start doing some dry brush. So I will apply first Storm Vermin Fur. And I will apply soft dry brush, so this can all over the stone. I want to keep the stone quite dark, so I will not go to very light colors, because I want to make the look, to leave it quite dark, to emphasize more the glowing and the lava that I will paint at the bottom. So I will try not to go too light. So this is Stone Vermin dry brush. Okay, this is good enough. Now I will do second dry brush using Downstone. when you paint rocks, dry brush is one, I think is the best method to give the sensation of the, to pick the texture of the rocks. This was not a rock, indeed is a piece of this type of material. Okay, but it works very well as a rock, so you have different thickness, normally used for garden. So I picked this one that was quite big, because I think the demon here will be a very nice standing for the demon, as the Be'lakor is a little bit shorter than other demon princes. This will put him at the same height. Okay, so this should be enough. I wanted to keep it quite dark, as I say. If at the end I'm not happy, maybe I can do some highlight. So now what I will do, I will take Wild Rider Red, and I will dry brush the bottom. And here you have to be careful, you don't want to dry brush here, because this is not glow, so the glow should be at the bottom of the stone. Okay, and here. And you have to glow more the closer you go to the bottom. This orange is a little bit too red, maybe. So here, for example, I will not add a lot of glow, only here at this part here. You see? Not that, because this should not be impacted by the light, but this can capture some light. So in that way, you don't want to go at the top of the stone, because the glowing from the lava will not go there. And then you put more and more here, the part that is almost illuminated by the lava. Okay, now I will take a clear orange, we'll take Fire Dragon Bright. This you have to dry very well the brush after taking this one. Test first on a piece of paper somewhere that you can see, and then I will apply here. If I see that it's too soft, I take again a little bit, test it. I think no, it's okay, and I will apply just at the bottom. Okay, just at the bottom. Now what I will do is I will start painting what I want to use as a lava or magma. So I take a big brush and I will paint all this part with the same bright orange. Most likely we'll need a couple of layers to have a uniform color. So you see, this base was made, as I said, the material I showed before, and then what I did first is I apply green stuff all over the base. I did this type of bubbles with green stuff, and then once before the green stuff was completely dry, I glued this piece on top of the base. Okay, that way. And after that I decide to do I prime the base with white first, and I paint the stone. The primary is to minimize absorption by the. You see now this orange is very bright. But well, so you see now the glowing is working quite well. If you want more glowing, I think here at the bottom what I will do is I will just go with this orange and emphasize more the glowing here. So you do the bottom, that way you give very well the sensation of the lava. Okay, you see, I think this is giving a very nice touch. Okay, so now I will let it dry and I will do a second layer. Okay, this is how it's looking like. So now I let it, the wash is completely done, but it's drying. So you see this, so I will let it here to dry, and in the meantime I will keep working on the base. So what I will do now is I will use tallest layer orange, that is a darker one, and I will use this closer to the stone. So just here close to the stone I will use this one, and then I will put a little bit here. Okay. And I will add then a little bit here. So just like you see here at the back. Okay. And now the next step I will take this. So I will use this very light yellow, dawn yellow, and I will start apply on the bubbles. Just now to mark the bubbles. Later on I will do the transition to make it softer, but at this moment what I want to do is most likely you will need 2 layers to cover correctly. So I'm applying now the first layer. And here I will just apply on the round, leaving the center lighter. Okay. Now we will wait until this is dry before applying more colors on here. Okay, this is how the Magma lava is looking now. I just was doing this off camera. What I did is I work with all the colors I shared before. So Fire Dragon, Tallest Layer Orange, Wild Red Rider, Mephiston Red, and I also use one of these H paints, Dawn Yellow and White. So I was forgetting also Flash Gith Yellow. So you want bright oranges and bright yellows. So what you do is I do the darker colors just next to the rock. I did some, I'll use this to point. I use some darker colors here also, and then I try not to make uniform colors, so I try to make the color change of colors on the base. So on where we have the bubbles, I paint, as you have seen before, with Dawn Yellow. Then I do the base with Flash Gith Yellow, and I blend it with the oranges at the bottom. And then at the top I add some white to make it bright. I also did some more dry brush on the rock to increase the orange. Maybe I will do more in future. Once I have all the composition done, I will see if I need to make it brighter. But I think in some parts here looks quite nice. Looks the bright, and I think it's looking quite good. So this is another part. So I think it's looking okay now. What I will do is I will leave the base again apart, and then I will start working on Be'lakor. So this is how Be'lakor is looking now after the wash with black with non oil. You see that now the brightness of the blue is completely killed. I will say it's completely off, and now I will start working. I will not do more dry brush at this moment. I will start working on the different parts and details, and then I will try to highlight the skin, just doing just layering. So next step I will start working I will work first the things that are more difficult to reach, and one of these parts is the chainmail here. So I will use iron breaker. You have to shake this very well to be sure that the pigment is completely mixed. Okay, you need a very nice mix. Then with the tail brush I will start applying on all these parts. I will also paint this type of hooks, things that are hanging from this type of, I don't know how it's called this in English, sorry, this thing, and also this. So doesn't matter, try to avoid this. I don't use the paint very thin, that way it doesn't go into all the holes. You need to go into all the holes in the chainmail, but if it goes into some of them, don't be concerned. It's not a dry brush. I just apply a layer. I try to put the brush, as you see, as much as horizontal as I can, to avoid that goes too much into the holes, and try to focus the painting on the surface of the rings of the chainmail. Okay, but if it goes a little bit in, it's not a problem, because we are going to do a wash later on, and the wash will go into the holes and will leave the holes completely black. So I keep applying this silver here, and we will do the same from the back. And to do it easily, I will remove this guy from this base, and then I can reach it easily. This way I don't glue the Be'lakor on the base, because I need to reach these parts here, and if it's glued it's almost impossible to reach, because you have the tail as well. So I apply. That's all, and now we will need to wait until this is completely dry before we do the wash. Okay, there's too much here. Okay, so we just leave it and wait that this is dry. Okay, so I'm waiting that the metallic is drying. I will start painting the different horns and type of protuberances that this miniature have, and to do that I will use first Charon granite. It's like a grayish browny dark color, and I will paint the horns lightly, the horns and the different spikes that it has. So I just paint it vertically. As usual, try to make very thin. These horns have a lot of texture that we want to keep, so be careful, make thin layer to avoid that the texture is covered by the paint. And indeed, in that case, that this thin is working is more advisable, because you want to go into the different parts, and thin paint is helping you to go faster. So I will layer the horns and the different spikes on the miniature. These have not a lot of mystery, so I will connect back once I finish this part. So the Charon granite is now applied to all the different horns, nails, spikes, also all the back here. Okay, and I also did a wash on the chainmail here to make it more dull, and also to ensure that I shade all the different holes of the chainmail. So sorry. Now I will keep working here on the front of the Bellacore. So I will do these strips here, and I will do the hull. I will finish this front, and then I will keep working. I will work this miniature by zones to ensure that I go to the detail in each part of the miniature. So I will use now. You can use a Screaming Skull or Sbatty Bone. So this is not in good shape. I will use Sbatty Bone on this one, on the skull. So this is the way I normally paint the skulls. I apply a base of Sbatty Bone here, and normally you will need 2 layers to have a very nice cover. So I will apply Sbatty Bone, and I think I will do on all the skulls. So I will be back once I apply Sbatty Bone on the skulls. So now I applied Sbatty Bone on all the skulls, and the next step I will do is to apply Seraphim Sepia. So I will do a thin wash of Seraphim Sepia to all the skulls. I will start with that one, for example. I will just do a soft wash. As you can see, I try to keep the ace hole in black, and avoid to paint them when I was applying the Usbati bone. In case you paint or the A hole is covered with the Usbati bone, then later on we will need to do a wash of Nun oil on the air shade on the hole, in the hole, sorry. Okay, so I will keep doing this wing. You see, this is quite fast. Try to avoid out of the place. So you get the idea. I will do the rest of the schools and I will be back. So then once, what is important, once the wash is applied, I will wait until the wash is completely dry before connecting again. So now the Seraphim Sepia is completely dry. So the next thing I will do, I will start doing the symbol here at the middle, and I want to do this like a glooming, red metal, no, or incandescent metal. So what I will do, I will paint at the same time the A's. I want to do, first I will do just like a dry brush around the symbol, because I want that is giving the sensation that is glooming around. So I will just start dry brushing all around. Can be that we need to do more than one layer of this dry brush, because most likely this color, this orange, and using tallest layer orange is not covering very well on black, on dark colors. So we will need to see if we have to do a second dry brush later on. You see the symbol is completely popping up with just one dry brush. I want to go out in purpose because I want to make this sensation that is glooming a little bit, no? That is like a magic or like a warp thing. So just create some like an aureole around. This is done by doing different. The dry brush is drying very fast. You can do several layers just in. So you see. So this, you don't need precision, and the dry brush is quite heavy because I want that the orange is catching well. Okay. This is more or less the effect I want to do. Maybe later on I will need to redo a little bit, but this is just the first step. Now we take a detail brush and I will do the A's. I want to do also the A's like glowing fire. So I want to not only paint the A, because I want to paint the A and the surroundings of the A. Okay, so just something like that. And I will do the same on the other side. It is most difficult to go in because there is the arm just in front. So this is more or less the effect that I want to do. Okay, now next step I will do. We'll take a clear orange, so I will take this time fire the background orange, fire the background bright, sorry. And I will just paint the symbol here. So I will paint the symbol very carefully. Try not to go out of the chaos symbol. Here as well. So I paint the symbol. So this is how will look like the symbol. And then on the A hole, I will try to paint only the A at this time with that color. Sorry, I cannot show this on camera, but it's quite difficult to reach this part. Okay. So next color I will use is going to be flash yellow, flash geese yellow. And here I will try to first start from the core of the symbol and just paint. Then on the arrows at the end of the chaos symbol, I will just paint the center of the arrows. Then I will paint the center of the A. So it's easier if you put the model upside down and just try to point the center. Oh, shit. I get out of the position, so I need to do some correction in the day. So this is, see here I made a mistake, so what I will do, we'll take a darker orange. So I will take the one that I used first and just paint on top. I will need to paint the area again. Sorry for the background noise, it's my son playing here around. Okay. So next, and then the last step, I will use dawn yellow. This very clear one. I will just paint here the color of the symbol. Okay, and then the A's, I will make a dot in the middle of the A. Okay. Now what I will do is I will take these oranges, and I will concentrate more the color around the symbol. So we'll try to put more of this color around the chaos symbol. And this time I will try to be more precise. What I recommend you is to have so you have to play a little bit and add a little here. It's important that you add some in between the symbol here. I will try to make this better limited. So now it's just try to play until you have the right sensation. Try to eliminate dark dots from the source of the light, because it will be strange looking, and just add some more of this orange next to the source. Now I'm going to add some more of this orange at the end of the arrow. You can add some red. Far from. that I ran out of battery, but what I have been doing is I've been working with the same colors I used for the Magma on the base. So the two oranges, a little bit of red, the yellow and the dawn yellow, and what I try to do is make the star more yellowish, more clear, and then the round with orange, and then I do some secondary reflections here on the bottom of the head here and the neck. So this is how it's looking like right now. Okay, so I try to make these tissues, and now the next step I will try to work the mouth. So I will paint the tongue and the teeth here there, and I will start doing the highlights to see how it's looking like, because now I'm not 100% happy with the result here, but I want to see how it will look like once I highlight the rest of the miniature. All can happen that I'm not happy and I will redo completely the miniature, but let's give a little bit of chance and see how it's looking like when I paint the rest of the miniature. Sometimes you are not happy how it's looking like in the middle, but then when you paint the rest it's looking more solid and more, all the idea comes together better. So let's do now the tongue and the teeth, and then I will start doing the highlights here at the torso and the belly, and then I will do that. So to do the teeth, I want to do the teeth very white, so I will use white scar, and then I will go teeth by teeth painting them. So here you need some precision and a nice tip on your brush. Okay, so you go teeth by teeth. Okay, and it seems there are only the top teeth painted, sculpt, so I will paint them. Be careful when you take some little paint, because it tends to dry very fast on your brush. Now the tongue, I will go for purple tonalities. Okay. So now the teeth are painted, and I will proceed to paint the tongue. For that I will use first Shadows purple. It's a dark purple. I thin it down with water, and I will just put some on the tongue. Okay, and next I will use Gen Steeler purple, and I will put just a little bit at the tip. This is how it will look like. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to start highlighting the skin. Remember that I did first one at the beginning a very rough highlight, doing the different layers of dry brush, and then a wash with Nude oil. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use again Cantor blue, and I will start highlighting, but this time I will do more precise highlighting. So I will, for example, here in the face, I will start highlighting the different So because I have a bluish color at the bottom, the transition now is going to be much softer. So we'll start doing first this one. We'll do the face in front of you, and then you have to assume that I will do the same for the rest of the body. So what you try to highlight is the most external parts. Here I will keep this part orangey, but then I will go very next to the orange with the blue. Okay. Here I will do also this part just to show you the first. We'll do also this part here. You have to assume that I will do the same in all different, in all the other different parts of the body. Okay, this is the first layer of highlight. Then I will use Magma blue. Okay. Use my and as you can see, I still use Cantor blue when I want. Okay, and I do the second highlight always with Magma blue. Right, I will keep working this part because I want to work by zones, and then the last part is going to be a very soft touch with lot of blue. So I will be playing with these three colors to do the highlights. Right? As you can see, sometimes I will mix them if I see that the transition is too strong. Remember here that is a very pronounced edge. With that one, you don't want to highlight to put too much. So just on the areas that will emphasize the sculpt. Okay. Here around the nose. Then around the mouth I will do if you feel that it's too strong, I go with my beige blue and then I soften. So and it's try to find all this part is try to find good transition, playing with the different blues. I like to mix them daily on the miniature. Oh, I use my, here I mix a little bit on my palette. But it's important that the most extreme parts have a very clear, it's working very well with when you do that colors, that you have some parts that are very, very clear compared to the black. This will give a very nice example. Here I will do this. Then I will do just a very edge. right? So now I will keep doing that on the whole miniature, just combining the different blues to do all the highlights on the skin. Remember, first is Cantor blue, then I use Magma blue, and the last color I use is Lutheran blue, but normally I try to mix 1-to-1 with Magma blue, and then the very extreme maybe Lutheran blue pure. So in that way, so I will keep working on the different shades. I know that most of the times this miniature is highlighted with grays, but I wanted to go to a colder black to have a good contrast with the red of the different of the symbol of the chaos, and to well, the red or the hot part of the symbol of the chaos. So I will keep working like that. I will do the highlights as you see here on the face. Okay, so you see here I will keep working on this type of highlights, and I will be back once I finish. Most likely we'll do the highlights in that way for the full torso, body and wings. So this will be the longest part on the painting process on the painting process of Be'lakor. As you can see, so what I try to do is first apply the darkest blue, then repeat here on camera in that muzzle, so then apply a little bit, and then at the end I mix this with a little bit of Lutheran blue with a little bit of Magma blue, and I just highlight very little part and here. So, and it's all the trick here is to keep the balance between the highlights and work with the different blues to have a nice transition and work with the different highlights. So try to emphasize the different muscles, and that's all. So you can see the parts here, maybe I keep it darker and I keep, so this the work, and I will be back once I finish with all these highlights. So let me know if this explanation is good okay for you or not. In case you need more explanation, I can do more in future. So I will be back once I did the highlights on the skin. So yeah. So this is how the miniature is looking like once I finish with all the blue highlights. So this is, I put him on the base, but it's not glued yet. So just a shot from the back. So I did all the highlights with using Cantor blue, Magma blue and Lutheran blue. So I try to go, and then for the last highlight I mix normally Magma with Lutheran blue 1-to-1, as I explained before. So this is how it's looking like. You see, I follow the same explanation I did on the head and on the torso. I follow it on the legs, on the tail, and especially on the wheels. That take me to do all the highlights, took me around 3 hours. Okay, and now this is how it's looking like in the base. So going back to the question, I would like to know what you think on the symbol on the breast, or on the torso, sorry. Do you like that, or you think it's better to do only the chaos star and do the highlight with blues? Sorry for the background noise, it's my son here playing. So that's all. This is finishing this first part of the tutorial on Be'lakor. Please let me know your opinion. You like what you see, what you think I should do best, and especially on the chaos symbol, you like that, or you think that it's better just to do the symbol and not do this type of glowing around. So thanks a lot for watching, and see you again later. Bye.